Not bad. That's cool. That's better. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Distillery. I'm your host, Harry Lee Shanglun. Today I am not in front of my computer. We're actually at Mat Masters Academy, which is an MMA gym where we do wrestling, MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, and a whole bunch of other grappling and striking sports. And I have one of our special guests with us today, Coach Amin Yaqohbi. Hi Amin, how are you?
Good, yourself. Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much for having me and for hosting in this place.
My pleasure, thank you.
Where are we?
We are at 108 Drummond Street, Oakleigh, and Victoria, Melbourne.
Yeah, and we're currently inside the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have the COVID-19, we follow the distance, 1.5 meter. That's good.
Measured out carefully. And so during pandemic, what's happening? Are you training here or?
22nd of June this month we're starting back, but it says 20 people inside, and I've followed the rule, of course, 1.5 meter distance. We're so excited, still is better than nothing. We used to do on 6 months at home, 4 months at home. We already start training in the outside, 10 people outside the park, 1.5 meter distance. We follow the rule again.
And how do you train wrestling, which is something that's very high contact?
We don't touch each other, but we just do a lot of fitness, conditioning, wrestling fitness. We do everything belong to wrestling, like shadow wrestling, like moving double legs, sprawl, like some exercise. It's connected wrestling.
So it's like doing the moves, but without the other person?
Yes, with imagination. So you do it yourself, but you think you do someone.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been a coach for?
I was coach, I wrestled like almost more than 22 years. I was a young kid to wrestling. My brother, Oceania Guam, was our coach. He was teaching us as a young kid. We started wrestling. Then now I'm in Australia, like from 2000, October 26, I was here. I'm coaching almost from overseas. Can tell me like almost 20 years, like 22 years, and I become a coach. I coaching, but in Australia, I coaching now almost 12 years. I'm a national coach now in a year.
You're the coach of the Australian wrestling
head national coach, yeah.
Amazing.
Now for 1 year, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, yeah. Hard work.
I can imagine. And you said you came to Australia. What was your journey in terms of where you traveled to and immigrated to?
Because we was back, I was in a team, an Afghanistan team in Afghanistan, Kabul. Then before the government Taliban come take over, like we stuck as a young kid. I was speaking the same language. I was speaking 7 language anyways. One of the speaking the Taliban language called Pashto. We speak the Pashtun. Speak the language. Stuck there. Then we moved around in Pakistan. The documentary in SBS everywhere is I went to Pakistan. My older brother Oceania Guam, he opened the gym there for us. Then that gym we started continue. He moved overseas. He went to Germany, my brother. Then I take over the gym. I would look after the gym to 2006. From 2006, I migrated to Australia. By sponsor, not. Then I started training here. I competed in 2006, 2007, almost 2008, different sport. Then I busy in life. I couldn't speak English. I start working to start a family, like looking to get a house, stuff like that. Then I start 2010. I start coaching back.
It's
to 3 gyms, 5 gyms around Victoria. I was teaching 5 gyms, coaching 5 gyms.
And now you have a gym of your own.
I got to start my own gym now. Start on my own student. A lot of young kids, a lot of athletes, they're dreaming to Commonwealth game, Olympic, World Championship from that gym. And that's why you're pushing to make their dream too.
And we have some amazing wrestlers and competitors here.
I'm really happy. We got a lot of good athletes, good wrestlers in this gym. Young kids, like new stars coming. Timmy Treadcar. He's a new generation. He'll be big name soon. People like.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye out for Artie.
Yeah.
And I just want to ask a few questions about what you said earlier then. You said you spoke 7 languages.
Yes, like I speak in Hindi, like Punjabi, a little bit English. And language from Iran and Afghanistan, they are similar. I can speak the Persian, Dari, Pashto, Urdu. It's all connected.
That's amazing. And also that you were under Taliban occupation while you were
I was there, unfortunately. Yeah, that was for maybe 2 years I was there. A year or two, like I was be there. From 1996, 97. Oh, he force you to have to put your beard. You can't shave you can't leave the hair. And you wrestle with the bands. And how is possible? Wrestling is a sport. You don't need to grab the clothes. You have to go to singlet, but you have to force you like that was like crazy.
How did you escape or leave?
Because it was Pakistan border and Afghanistan. They got a border like some Europe country like France and Germany like this like that. We just go for things like a holiday. You just run, you don't come back. Then there's different government in Pakistan. Like you have to stay there. Like and you start there and then go back. Just for the government finish.
So you're still on holiday.
Yeah, still on holidays.
It's a long one. Can you tell us a little bit about wrestling and what it is?
Because we do three kinds of wrestling: Greco wrestling, in Olympic, freestyle wrestling.
Okay.
Greco wrestling, you can't touch the leg; it's all upper body.
Right.
Freestyle, you can touch everywhere: leg, arm, everything. They call freestyle wrestling. Both belong to Olympic. Like practically, people call amateur wrestling. It's real wrestling, not a fake WWE wrestling. It's real wrestling.
It's not like a performance, it's actually a sport.
Yeah,
right?
it's a sport. It's Olympic sport. Now people using it as a grappling too. Like grappling means they mixed up with the jiu-jitsu, mixed up with the judo, like this sport become a grappling. And still it's called wrestling, but grappling like mix them.
Right.
It's the oldest sport in the planet. Like the oldest sport. Like I give you example. If we bring two kids stand up like have a play, they start wrestling. It's natural. If you see two animals, they wrestle. Like it's natural for everyone, every human beings, everyone.
And so what do you teach here if it's something so natural?
We teach like we start first for the kids, like we teach them self-defense, confident to give his confidence, self-defense to stand up for them. So a lot of kids in Australia notice they get bullied a lot. They like get you can say abusing a lot. They doesn't have a confidence to stand for themselves. I teach that first. I'm focusing a lot in confidence to give him that discipline, to give that stuff. The next step, we're teaching wrestling. We're teaching first flexibility, speed, technique, fitness, like physique. We work on all stages, every sport. Some people need a lot of fitness. Some people need fitness, speed. Some people need more technique. Everyone different. That's why we call coach. We're not called trainer. Trainer teach you one the same. Coach teach you one the different. Because as a joke, I see people say some of the coaches GP. I call some of the coaches, I say, specialist. Because specialists come to the point to give you the problem, but GP can just give you some medicine, you'll be fine.
Yeah, so you're like a specialist.
We're just specialists, we teach everything what everyone needed. Slow, fast, fit, fat, short, tall, like everyone different. You can't show the same technique to everyone. It's not work for short people, the same technique to tall. The same technique not work, you have to change a little bit. Okay, you go that way, and it's work for everyone.
And how does wrestling impact mental health and the way that we live our lives?
I done 32 years. I help a lot of people in stress. They say that people who was in drug, people did, they help them. It's a lovely sport. They help you. You be happy all the time. I'm serious. I'm detective wrestling. If I didn't wrestle for a week, I do so like upset, like I get hungry and no reason, like some. And I help a lot of young kids. I don't mention the name. Now they got proper life. The wrestling helped them.
I think that's something true in general when we see, young people given opportunities in sports and other.
Yeah, you mentioned the opportunity, especially in Australia, got the best opportunity in the planet for wrestling in Australia.
Wait, really?
Oh, the best opportunity in the planet.
Can you tell me why? Because Australia is not known for its wrestling compared to other places.
I give you an example. Maybe some people doesn't know. Australia is the only continent. Wrestling is very small. You have to go 4 steps. You become national champion. 4 steps like state champion is another tournament champion. If you be a cadet or junior or senior, whatever, you go to Oceania, like too easy. It's not strong countries. If you train really hard to become there, you're too easy to go to Olympic, too easy to go to World Championship, too easy to become I give you example. If you're in Asia, you have to become first your state champion. Then you become a national champion. Like national champion, I love every state. If you're too good in national champion, become a national champion in your country, then Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Iran, like
all
Japan,
hitters,
China,
right?
the heaviest country, too hard to become there to go to Olympic or to World Championship. Now, United States, the same. So hard there. What is the competition in Australia?
So you're saying it's better opportunity because there's less competition.
Yes, the best opportunity.
Okay.
But that's why as a young kid, I say train really hard, smart, you achieve your goal. By guarantee, you achieve your goal.
Do you think I can be in the Olympics?
Anyone can be in the Olympics. Train hard, smart, you become an Olympian. The best opportunity for this country. They doesn't know how lucky they are. And I said to my son every day, you got the best opportunity for this country. Anything, not in sport, anything you want, you become. Train hard, study hard, you become whatever you want.
I think that's something really encouraging to hear, particularly for somebody, people who have lived here in Australia and they're used to this. It's like they don't have something to contrast to. But you've been all around the world. You've seen what
it's the best opportunity for everything. Like I said to my students, I said to my kids, my family, like how best opportunity here, but positive way I have to think. Everything has to be positive. I gave example to my son, like always I said to him, you think I come to 2006 with no English, $300 in my pocket, no friends, I just step in the Melbourne airport. Like someone is blind, not anything. He just walked in his door. Wrestling helped me. I got now at least 100 of friends. He called friends, like chat, talk with him. I know like a lot of students. I got like a lot of students in this country talk to people, solve the problem. The wrestling helped me for everything. They give me the house, roof, you. Like this is sport. Sport doesn't have a language. If I go to right now in China with not speaking Chinese, I'll be fine. I'll be survive. I'll find a job because of wrestling. If I go to Germany, I can speak German, but I'll be fine. As soon as I go find wrestling gym, step in. Sorry guys, I can't speak German, but I need a job. They will help me. Because what? Wrestling.
I have here special guest Irene Symeonidis. Hi Irene, how are you doing?
Good, how are you, Harry?
Yeah, doing well, thank you. We just did an outdoor wrestling session.
Yeah.
I'm pretty exhausted.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired. I must say it's a lot harder than what we usually do in the gym.
Is it actually?
I feel like it's a lot harder, yeah. I don't know, I find it easier to wrestle someone for an hour than to just train by yourself in a bit of your own space. So, yeah.
How long have you been wrestling for?
I'd say it's about 6 years. Just over 6 years now.
How did you get started into it?
Just for general fitness. I got started with kickboxing for fitness, and then Coach Amin convinced me to try wrestling, and yeah, I got pretty hooked on it.
And you're now, quite involved. You're running a lot of the things at Mat Masters Academy.
Yeah.
You teach as well.
Yeah, I jump in some coaching when I can. Yeah, helping a lot around the gym, getting involved in all the wrestling events as much as I can.
And you've been in competitions as well?
Yes, I've been competing as much as I can as well, because I did find the sport quite late. So yeah, getting as much experience as I can.
When you say you found it quite late, is that because most people will be kids when they start, or?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do start wrestling when they're young. I was about 22 when I started, so yeah, I feel like I did find it late.
What's your experience been in competition? Like, tell us how that works and how you've gone.
Yeah, so I've jumped into as many competitions as I can. We don't have that many competitions in Australia. I maybe say from 3 to 6 a year that we can enter. So yeah, I do give all those a crack. The more competitions that I've done, the more confidence I've gained, and the more I learn from each competition. So yeah, each competition is quite valuable. You learn what your mistakes are, what you need to work on. Yeah, I just find them quite valuable and very important for growing in wrestling, or to achieve my goals anyway. Yeah.
What are your goals?
I just want to compete in wrestling at the highest possible level, represent Australia as much as I can. I've had the opportunity to do so a number of times now in the past, and hopefully qualify for Commonwealth Games and an Olympic Games at least once in my lifetime. So
representing Australia overseas, which you've done now several times. What's the feeling like being in those international arenas?
It's quite exciting, but daunting as well. Like, you know, as a kid, I never thought I would do such a thing, like represent Australia. I was kind of wanting to just finish uni and work in a 9-to-5 job like everyone else. But I don't know, once I stepped into wrestling, I think I kind of had a lot more options with my life, and I didn't really expect to be able to represent my country. So it's a really cool feeling, and I feel very proud to be able to do something like this.
What are some of the challenges that you've experienced in your wrestling career, so to speak?
Challenges would be balancing training with just my lifestyle and work. So I don't know, there's a lot of commitment. So most people might go home after work and sit on the couch, make dinner in their leisure, I guess. But I'll go from work to training, cook my food in between. So I think fitting it into a lifestyle like that, full-time working lifestyle, was challenging. Fitting it around social events, the diet part of it, like not drinking. That's not so challenging now, but being around a lot of people who do like to drink, and that I found that a bit challenging at the start, and having a massive sweet tooth is a big problem for me. So kind of finding a sweet balance was a big challenge for me.
I feel like a lot of wrestlers I've spoken to love sweets.
Yeah, I think that's one of the exciting parts about it. You work so hard, and then like at the end of it, you get all these sweets like as a reward.
Like, why do you wrestle? Oh, for the cake.
For the cake, yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool. What are your hopes for Mat Masters Academy moving into the future, and more broadly for wrestling in Australia?
Hopes for Mat Masters. I feel like at the moment our main focus is wrestling, because we have Coach Amin, who is currently the national coach for wrestling, and he's always been so committed to the sport. So we would like to create a hub for wrestling where anyone can come and train in the discipline, whether it be for pure wrestling, for fitness, for high-level competition, just as a hobby, or even for other disciplines such as like jiu-jitsu. A lot of people come to wrestling to better their jiu-jitsu game, or just to try something. Really, we just want it to be somewhere people can come and have fun and enjoy themselves, feel like they belong to part of a community. We also hope to reach younger people, so students and people in school who might be getting bullied or are having trouble fitting in. We'd like to show them that they're most welcome with us, and they do have something to offer. They can achieve anything they put their mind to, and kind of help them grow their confidence in something like wrestling.
That's awesome. Really encouraging as well.
Yeah.
I'm really intrigued. Also, I get this question a lot from my female friends when I asked, like, do you want to come to wrestling? And they go, wait, am I wrestling against guys? Just what's your experience been in terms of like gender in wrestling?
For me, I don't find it to be a problem wrestling males or females. Like, I'm on the smaller end of the scale size-wise, but honestly, like, I feel comfortable wrestling people of all sizes. Once you get to know everyone, we all kind of respect each other, and no one's out to hurt anyone. So we all work together, whether you're new or you're experienced. We'll work within your skill levels, teach you something, and it's not about intimidating anyone. So I think the more technique you learn, the easier it is to, take care of your partner. And it's not always about size and power and winning. It's just about working with one another, really, and just improving.
And for those that don't know, can you tell us a little bit about like what you mean by technique?
So there's lots of moves and small detail that we spend a lot of time practicing, repetition, like every day in the gym. So one of us will choose like a set of moves that they've learned, and it will just become part of your skill set, and you'll use them regularly while you're wrestling. So you'll use your technique as opposed to trying to squash someone or use your power. So it's not about size, power, strength. Like, those factors do contribute to the success of wrestling, but it's not all about that.
I have distinct memories of facing opponents who are much smaller or younger than me and getting completely served and smashed because they're so technically adept, or
Yeah.
really good at their timing.
Yeah.
Something that struck me when I first started wrestling is that it's the closest thing I can think of to a wizard's duel, where, bear with me for a second, where like you have a spell and then there's a counter spell to every spell, or there's like, here's a technique and then there's a way to counter that technique. So there seems to be a lot of tactics and strategy
Yeah.
in the actual sport of when you're doing it.
Yeah.
How does practice relate to that competitive mode?
I find that wrestling training is the closest thing to actual competition, like compared to other sports. Like you might spar someone in boxing, but you're not out to actually like beat them like you would in a boxing match. When you're wrestling somebody in the gym, you're going for the pin, so no one's going to get hurt, so you can actually go almost 100%. So you pretty much get a real feel for how it would be in the gym, because you're trying to finish the match, and vice versa, you're trying to defend and not get pinned and not give up points, and you're trying to be strategic about what you're doing. So yeah, I feel like live wrestling in the gym is a great way to actually see what it's like in a match. Other things might play a role, such as nerves and just knowing like what to do, like, but your coach will talk you through that, like when to walk out, shake hands, the time that you need to spend in the match, and those kind of rules, they all get explained to you, and the more competitions you do, the more familiar you get with the match. So yeah.
That's really cool. And just finally, how has COVID-19 impacted the way that we train and prepare for wrestling?
Oh, massively. COVID-19 has really impacted wrestling in a negative way, I believe. I think a lot of people have been really hanging out to get back to training. A lot of people have been cooped up inside, regardless of them having equipment at home or, trying to do as much as they can at home. I don't think training on your own can really replicate the training you get in the gym. So, yeah, I feel like, myself included, a lot of people have been a little less motivated to keep training. My fitness has definitely gone down since COVID-19, and I can't wait to get some proper wrestling rounds in and proper technique with my training partners. Yeah, there's nothing like the real thing, really.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Irene.
That's okay. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me.
Great pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching The Distillery. I'm your host, Harry Lishanglun. Huge thank you to Mat Masters Academy, to Amin Yaqohbi and Irene Symeonidis for the interviews today. If you do want to try wrestling, grappling, or striking sports, come check out Mat Masters Academy. The website is matmasters.com.au. And of course, new episodes of The Distillery are streaming every day at distillery.site.